So it doesn't look like much, but it's a great little spot we found here in Vizag that appears to just be called Sattvik Restaurant, Rajasthani cuisine. We got some great stuff there, and so much of the menu could be made vegan. Definitely has a hole-in-the-wall vibe, but the food was really tasty. The rotis were piping hot and made perfectly, and the food overall was just excellent. We had lunch yesterday for only 300 rupees, so let's see what we get up to today. Here I was thinking that a kitty party was a birthday or a group of kids hanging out together, because all the restaurants, not all, but many, list that they cater for kitty parties. However, a kitty party is where a number of women get together and they all bring a prescribed amount of money to put into the middle, and then they draw lots to see who wins the money. And they also sit and they are social and have food. So these parties, called the kitty party, are essentially like ladies gambling. So you learn something new every day. I'm going to try out the aloo bindi. That's aloo and bindi, obviously. Aloo potato, bindi is okra. So the aloo bindi, quite salty, but in a good way. Tomatoey and really nice soft potato. It's pre-fried, so it's not that gooey okra vibe. And let's try the rajma kidney bean curry real quick here so they tell you to get eating. That one's in a nice masala gravy. Creamy, the kidney beans are creamy. Also quite nicely spiced. Everything here is almost in the realm of heavily spiced, but not over-spiced. I really like it, both flavors, quite nice. We'll get to the mushroom noodles after. Mushroom noodles. Yeah, really nice. It's about what you'd expect. They're not super spicy, but they're nicely seasoned. They got some veg and herbs in there, cooked mushrooms. Everything's cooked very nicely. And the sauce has just a little hint of chili and some of that classic Indian, Asian, Indo-Chinese influence as well. Really tasty. Recommend. The restaurant is actually called Sri Sham Sattvik Restaurant. And everything there that says curries that doesn't list paneer can be made vegan. So many things here are vegan by default, so I would strongly recommend coming to Sri Sham Sattvik Restaurant. Today's lunch was a little bit more lavish, and it'll be maybe right around only 500 rupees for two people, which is about $4 a person. $8. I was wrong about my estimate of it being 500. I did say or less, so maybe I wasn't wrong, but it was only $3.80, which is less than $6, so $3 a person for 2 curries, 2 rotis, and the noodle dish. I only just got the camera on in time to not show you the giant bat the size of a small dog that just flew over us. But what I will show you is a huge street food street, a whole street of it. I'm gonna try to show you all the vegan stuff, okay? There's paan, some noodles, a vada over there, some idli, some sambar, so some true South food. Veg and non-veg, well that's too bad, but there's veg everywhere I'm seeing. Dry fruit and nuts. There's some soda. All sorts of stuff. It's not even fully open yet, and it's still pretty crowded. Tons and tons of options. Haven't seen anywhere yet that's just strictly veg, but as we walk we'll probably see some awesome stuff. So very, very common in India to have these streets that are just tons and tons and tons of cart. Part of the food culture overall. So if you see one of these, you should always walk through and see what they have for you. I see a veg Manchurian there, some noodles and fried rice. And a lot of the veg stuff in this area does also happen to be vegan because they don't use a ton of milk products. Once we start getting more northerly to Kolkata, it'll be a little bit more difficult, but there'll still be lots of stuff. Momos, there's some vegan options there. Momos are always good. These are always a really good option for sure. So if you see a Bombay Chat style cart, that's a good option. Potato spirals as well, that's always a hot option. That's just a fried potato. Sometimes you gotta watch that the seasoning powder that they put on it at the end isn't made from milk powder, but there's still always an option for you anyway.
Wow, it just goes and goes, my goodness. Oh, polka, chapati, and parota. These are always good options as well. Gotta be something vegan in there. Does seem fairly meat heavy here, but there's been a few solid choices. So when there's this many choices, you're gonna be fine. This one lists a whole veg menu there with veg tiffins, idli, vada curry, sambar, dosa, onion dosa, masala dosa. Those are very often vegan. Just keeps going. Here's another southern style stand, idli, vada, dosa. Looks like the chole bhatura sort of style. All of those are generally easily veganized. Right now I'm gonna see if I can get something to eat and show you how I use my face to consume food items, and then my body will later convert that into energy. First time you're gonna see it on YouTube is right here. That would be a veg Manchurian. Oh, that's hot. Quite spicy in a good way. On the verge of very heavily seasoned, but not over seasoned. Szechuan sauce is very nicely. Mix of herbs and perfectly cooked veg is quite nice. Cauliflower. Flavor's amazing. Thank you very much. Is it okay that we filmed you there? Is it okay that we filmed you? Yeah. Yeah, really nice, soft, little tiny bit of crisp on the outside. Beautiful fresh veg and perfectly cooked veg inside as well. Round 2 of 3, we've ordered Maggi noodles, which kind of have the similar vibe to the Manchurian we just had. It's got that red sauce. It's got the finish with the onions and the herbs, the cilantro. Let's give it a shot. I bet it's spicy as all get up. Yeah, it's like Maggi plus a boost. Plus a boost of Szechuan, their own special masalas in there, you can tell that. And this is a very common street food, people doing their version of essentially ramen noodles. Delicious, always worth an order, and usually quite inexpensive as well. Take a look at that. It's a Manchurian, put inside of a wrap. The bread's really thin and really nice. It's got a little bit of a fried texture to it, kind of like a tortilla, kind of like an ultra-thin roti. And it's the good old Manchurian in there. And he even checked if I wanted mayo in it, which usually is the big mistake here because it all has not egg, but milk. Highly recommend everything we had. Really, really delicious. I'll tell you the name of the place right now. And we just had King's Rolls Matcha. All 3 items were only 200 rupees. You gotta check it out, real delicious. Stuff that goes into paan. Holy. Wow, thank you. Thanks very much. Delicious. Time to eat it. So what do all those things taste like? Yesterday it had a fruity muskmelon type vibe to it. The muskmelon taste yesterday was very strong, very lovely. This one has a more classic paan taste. He got some of the royal kajur in there. I love royal kajur. I'm bringing it home for everybody. So I love the royal kajur. There's kaju in there. There's a bunch of date paste, dried fruit, saffron. So this one tastes like a more classic paan. Really, really, really like floral, perfumey, sweet, and it's covered in silver. Yum. Really good. VIZAG night food course for vegan everywhere. I'm David. Bye.